What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are well and warm, kicking it fly today. My name is Pigeons, and today is Friday. We did it. That's another week for the books. Guys, welcome to my brand new studio space. It's still a work in progress. I actually got tents in the back corner now, believe it or not. Pretty awesome, guys. But I want to talk to you about genetics I'm going to be avoiding in 2023, and in fact, probably beyond, unless something crazy happens. But before I get into that, I want to share with you something very special. The boys at From the Stash and I have released a brand new product. We spent about a year and a bit trying to test and design an additive essential blend that you can add to any base nutrient to get the maximum out of your garden. We call it the Stash Blend. You can actually pre-order it at stashblend.com and get your hands on a bag as soon as it drops. There's a very limited supply, so go to stashblend.com and get your hands on it first. We are very excited about this, and without saying it, we think this could be the secret sauce. But I'll let you decide. Stashblend.com. Go pre-order now. But let's talk about genetics I'm going to avoid in 2023 and possibly beyond. Number 1. Maui Wowie. This is one that I had to grow to discover that I didn't want to grow this one again. And the particular reasoning for it is its long flowering time. Maui Wowie is a sativa dominant, therefore you're going to get a longer flowering time. Now, of course, Maui Wowie isn't the only one. You know, Haze is typically a longer flowering, Jack Herer typically longer flowering, and for me, with my regimen and my schedule, it doesn't fit. I can't have long flowering period flowers. When I've got some that are coming out of the garden at 8-9 weeks, I can't have something flowering at 11, 12, 13 weeks. That kind of just throws a wrench into my schedule. And for that reason, Maui Wowie is just a strain or a cultivar that I will avoid. That's not to say it's not a great smoke. I've had Maui Wowie. I actually really enjoy it. So if I was going to be growing it, I would be growing it alongside something else that's also going to be a long flowering strain. Something like the Haze or the Jack Herer. You know, Northern Lights is also a little bit longer. I would throw those together, keeping that in mind, doing a little homework before I pop those beans and then have to realize, it flowered too late. And that's exactly what happened to me the last time I grew it. I ended up trying to feed it final week nutrients at week 8, when in fact there was still 4 weeks to go, and she needed some of that nitrogen and some of that CalMag that she would have been benefiting from earlier, but in fact had it too early. Whoa, I'm throwing things here. Number 2, and this might be a little bit surprising, but this is Blue Dream. I was very, very disappointed in my end result when I first harvested Blue Dream. As a sativa dominant, I was kind of thinking that this was going to be one that was going to really, inspire creativity, get the euphorics activated, kind of get me to a point of production, and I did not get that. Now, perhaps this was a cut-specific effect. However, as I did more homework, I realized Blue Dream, although a sativa dominant, is best known for its full body relaxation. People get great sleeps out of Blue Dream. For me, I'm not looking for something that gives me a full body relaxation or a good sleep. I want something that's going to activate my euphoric senses, my cognition available. I want something that's going to make me want to start talking. But Blue Dream for me was something that did the exact opposite. I felt as if it really couch locked me and made me maybe in a state of just meh rather than excitement. So for me, Blue Dream is something I'm going to avoid mainly based on the effects that it's giving me. Just didn't really feel much of anything at all. During flower, I thought it was a little bit strange. The bud formation wasn't as strong or as thick as typically I see. It was a lot more leafier content, but nonetheless, the buds looked great. It smoked well, but the problem was I just wasn't content with those effects. Number 3, Grape Ape. This one was quite surprising to me. I've been on the internet since 2014, and back then when I was documenting my progress, a lot of people were really, really enjoying Grape Ape, and it became one of those cultivars that I had to get my hands on just based on the rage. And when I finally got it, it was a wonderful grow. It was beautiful to watch, great colors, but for some reason, when I got it, it smoked like water. There was no taste. There was really no effect. I just really didn't like this one at all. This one really fell flat to me. And I feel like this was the case of my own issues. You know, I maybe put this one a little high on the pedestal when it came to my level of expectation. And that happens quite often. I listen to ratings and reviews, and you know, when people give things generally a good review, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be great. But when people are raving about it, I'm thinking this might be great. Grape Ape was not that, and it's surprising because this is your Mendocino Purps, your Afghani, your skunk, all in one. This should be amazing. But it wasn't. It really, really wasn't. It was really flat. It is one that I will not be growing again. So, unfortunately, Grape Ape not doing it for me. Now, before we get into the number one genetics I will be avoiding for 2023, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors. I want to say thank you to Spider Farmer. Spider Farmer has been a sponsor of this channel for a number of years, and I am so proud to have them as a sponsor of mine. Spider Farmer sent me the SE5000. This is a 480 watt grow light. This thing is incredible. Great for a 4x4 grow tent. This has got the 2.8 micromoles per joule. The price package is absolutely awesome. And in fact, with Prime Days, you can save even more. This light is beautiful. You get it for a great package. Go to spider-farmer.com. Use promo code PIGEONS420. This light is also going to work great with Spider Farmer's light controller. So dim it, time it, set it all in one spot. Bring your grow game to the next level with automation. You won't be disappointed. Go to spider-farmer.com and thank them for being a sponsor of today's video. Also, huge shout out to AC Infinity. AC Infinity, great company, great products. They are all over the place right now. I've recently put out a video in regards to their humidifier. I absolutely love it. Love that you can control this stuff from one station. Their clip-on fans, their inline systems, you name it. They're some of the best. Go to acinfinity.com. Use promo code PIGEONS420. Save a few yen at checkout. Thank them for being a sponsor. And booyah! Let's check out the final genetics that I am going to avoid in 2023. It is actually has nothing to do with the genetics themselves. It has so much to do with the hype and the price behind them. And that is anything from cookies, man. I'm actually a huge fan of Burner. I'm actually a fan of cookies. I love what they're doing. I like the entrepreneurship that can happen within our industry, the business that can happen, the stories that can occur. But the problem is cookies is so overhyped. You're paying upwards of like $60, $40, $60 for a bean. And I think the cheapest it goes is for like a pack of 24 for $600 is 25 bucks a bean. That is a big no for me. I am a proponent that beans at $10 are too expensive. I think premium beans should be $10 a bean, and that is a cap. You're getting so many beans from a harvest that it's ridiculous to be, moving them at this pace, at this rate. People can't afford that. We want more people growing, not less people growing. Now, I understand that there is a market to, say, the bougie beans, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't think there's anything in those genetics that you're going to get that you can't get in something a little more affordable. You know, in the names you trust, the Green Cracks, the Northern Lights, the Maui, or the Jack Harrows. You know, these are great strains, great genetics, you won't be disappointed by. So why would I go out and spend upwards of $60, $40 a bean, $25 a bean for genetics that I, in my opinion, have only sold based on hype? Now, maybe there's some fire genetics in there. I'm not sure, but at this price, you will not get me doing any sampling to try to determine if it's worth it or not. And I can't promote that to people. These are just ridiculous prices. So unfortunately, anything cookies, I will be avoiding for 2023 and beyond until the price of these have been addressed, because this isn't for me, and that's going to be a no for me, dog.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
That's my pick. And again, you guys might love these genetics. That's the perfect thing about this plant, is what's good for you is good for you. What's not good for you might not be good for you and not good for them and great for her. And that's what's here. You want to experiment. You want to try to get your hands on something that you've never tried before. That's fantastic. I'm avoiding these genetics for these reasons, but I want to hear from you. What genetics have you learned are either overhyped, overpriced, not what they're advertised? Let me know in the comment section below. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your face. Until next time, much love. Stay medicated, eh? Because guess what? Life's better that way. Peace.